Hi guys, welcome to another Elementor video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we got a fun one for you today. This was actually requested. Somebody wanted to control their tabs with buttons rather than tabs. So we got 4 little buttons here spread out evenly. When I click on one, it's going to switch between the tabs. Active tab is going to go orange there. Obviously use whatever colors you want. We got a little hover effect on the buttons themselves. Really easy to do. Got to do a slight bit of CSS coding for this today. Don't let that put you off. It's really easy. So let's get started. I'm going to edit this with Elementor. I've already got my page open here. Okay, well I'm going to go down and get rid of these tabs and we'll start from scratch. Alright, well I'm going to roll down. I'm going to find my tabs module. It's all the way down the bottom here. There it is right there. I'm going to left click on it, drag it across. And there we have it. We've got 2 little tabs there. Let's just populate these a little bit. I've got some content here. And I'll make a little title out of it. And let's call our first tab Creativity. Put that up in the title there. Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to click on that to close it up. We'll do tab 2 and I'll add a couple more as well. I'll pause this video while I'm doing this. I'll just populate this one, then add a new one with the add icon there. Okay, I've got 4 tabs now. We got Creativity, Speed, Design, and SEO, all with a bit of content in there. If you want to, down below here, you can have these horizontal. We can switch them to vertical with the tabs here. I'm going to leave mine on horizontal. And alignment wise, left's the default. You can have them in the middle. You can have them all right. Or you can have them justified and spread out there. I'll leave it on the default for the time being. We're going to do a bit of coding to change all this. Okay, well let's just save this draft here. And we'll take a look on the front end so I can inspect it. That's what we've got at the moment. I want to go down to my Advanced tab here, roll down to my Custom CSS. Now, if you're using the Pro version, you can use this Custom CSS panel here. If you're using the free version, you'll have to do it in your additional CSS panel. I'm using the free Hello theme from Elementor here. I would recommend you use that if you're using Elementor as it's designed for it. But most WordPress themes are going to have somewhere for you to add CSS. Usually it'll be in Customize. And additional CSS right here is where you can write your code. But for today's, I'm using the Pro version. I can write it in this little panel here. Okay, well let's see what we've got. If I put my mouse over here and right click and inspect, I'm using Google Chrome here. Most browsers have this nowadays. Let's turn my responsive devices off. It's taking us down to the tabs wrapper. Great, well what I want to do is I want to spread these out for the full width of our tabs here and have equal space between each one there. So I'm going to copy this tabs wrapper right here. We can test out our code this side. Here's the element style. I'm going to say display flex. Display : flex, F-L-E-X. Then I'm going to tell it to justify the content with space between. So I'm going to say justify dash content : space between dash between. As you can see, that's now spread these out equally throughout the width here. And it doesn't matter what kind of size screen you're looking on, that will do it. And I'll show you later on mobile, it's actually going to stack on top of each other, so that's fine. Okay, so I want to copy this class name, Elementor tabs wrapper. I'm going to double click on it. Hit Control C. It's a class name, as it says there, class. If we go back to our custom CSS, all class names have a dot or a period in front, so I'm going to put a dot there, and then the class name. Then I'm going to open some curly brackets. I put a closing one on the end. In between, we can copy this code here that we just wrote. Incidentally, for the inspector, like I say, most browsers have it. I've got styles tab highlighted this side, so I've got CSS. I've got elements highlighted this side, so I've got HTML. You may need to adjust yours accordingly. Okay, I've copied that code. I can then paste it in between our little curly brackets there. Great. As you can see, that's done that to our little section here. Well, let's make these look a little bit more like buttons now. We go back to this page. Let's right click on one of these. Inspect. And we're right down here. We've got Elementor tab title. And here's all the class names. Anytime there's a gap, that's a different class name. And it's okay to have multiples. There's another gap, so that's another one. Actual one I want is Elementor tab title here. So again, I'm going to just click on it. I'm going to go over to my styles over here. So I'm going to say background, colon. I'm going to say mine blue. You can call yours whatever color you want. I'm just using blue for an example. That's fine. And let's perhaps give it some rounded corners. I've been using pill-shaped buttons on these, so we can do that with a border radius. If I just go down one, I'm going to say border, B-O-R-D-E-R -radius. If you want just little rounded corners, put a small pixel value in, perhaps like 5 pixels, 5px. As you can see, it's got slightly rounded corners there. If you want it to be pill-shaped, which I kind of do for this one, I'm going to make it 50 pixels. Perfect. Great, well let's write this, because when we do it in the browser here and refresh, it's non-destructive. So when we refresh, that's going to go back to how it was. I want to grab this class name, Elementor tab title. I'm going to double click on it. Just going to grab the class that I want in this particular case, Elementor tab title. Control C to copy. Back to my custom CSS, we'll drop down one more. Remember, it's a class name, always has a dot in front of it or a period. Then the class name. And we can open and close some curly brackets again. Give them a bit of space. We can copy our code. Pop it in between there. Fantastic. As you can see, that's changed all those buttons for us, which is just exactly what we want. Okay, well, I want it to actually change color on hover. So I'm going to copy what we've got here from the dot right there. Turn to our little closing bracket. If I pull this down a bit so you can see a bit more. Control C to copy. Going to drop down. Going to hit Control V to paste. Right after the E of title there with no gap, I'm going to put a colon and the word hover. I'm going to change that background color to orange. Again, put in whatever color you want. RGBA or hex or whatever you want. Now when we hover, that's changing color for us. Fantastic. But it's actually doing it pretty much instantly. I'd like to slow it down for a bit of a drama so it sort of fades in a little bit better. We can do that very easily. And I don't need that border radius on there because we've already got it here. We only need to put stuff in that we've changed. So I'm going to delete that. Now back in our regular state, not the hover state, I'm going to give it a transition duration and slow it down a bit. So I'm going to say transition dash duration. I'm going to put a colon and I'm going to maybe put 0.7 of a second, 700 milliseconds. Let's try it now. There we go. That's fading in a lot slower. I like that. It's a little more dramatic there. Great. Now we could put our color changes in for our little titles there, right here. But you can also do that just in your style. Here's the title. I'm going to change it from that blue, I think a white. That works for me. Fantastic. Active color, it's got it green. I'm going to make that white as well. We will change the background for that active as well. So I'm going to make this one white too. Fantastic. Okay, well, let's make our active tab this orange color as well. That's basically the one that it's on. So if we go back over to our little page here, click on any of these and we'll inspect it. And if we look down here, we've got Desktop Elementor active. Let's just click on this one. The color's fine, but we want to give it a background color. So I'm going to grab just these last couple of class names here, Elementor tab title and Elementor active right there. Control C to copy. Again, we'll go back to our custom CSS, back over in the advanced, roll on down to the bottom, custom CSS. I'm going to drop down a little bit more. Again, let's expand this for you. Pop those in there. Let's add some more curly brackets, opening and closing. Put a bit of space between them. And I'm going to put that background orange in there also. Great, and as you can see with the SEO one that's active at the moment, it's turned it orange. And we should still have our hover effect going on. Fantastic. Now I'd like to drop this content down a little bit below our buttons there, so it looks like it's separated a bit. At the moment, it's right on the bottom of these buttons. So again, if we go back here, and let's just inspect this one. And we've got a class of Elementor tab content. We've got one here, which is unique to this particular one tab. If I was to go on the next one, it's got a unique name of 22, so you can style them differently if you want to. I want mine to be all the same though. So I'm going to grab this class name. Again, I'm going to just double left click on it. Grab the first one there to the gap. That's all I need. Elementor tab content. Don't need that little inverted comma that's on the end there. Control C to copy. We'll go back here. Yet again, it's a class name. So we'll drop down. All class names, dot or period. There we go. Then the class name. Let's open up some curly brackets again. And in between, I want to give it a bit of space on the top. So I'm going to say margin top. Say 20 pixels. Obviously adjust yours to taste. And that's pushed it down by 20 pixels. Now it has actually pushed it down. If I give it a background color, you'll see that a lot more easily. So if I go back up to style here, we've got a background color here for our tabs. Let's make it maybe a light gray. You can see that's actually pushed it down by 20 pixels from the top there. But we've got a bit of a line there we need to get rid of. And because I put that background color in there, it's actually made our active tab that color. So to counter that, I'm going to use the important. I don't like to use it, but sometimes you have to. We want the active one here. Where it says active, I'm going to add important after it. Exclamation important. Like I say, I don't like to use that, but that's worked on it fine. And it even gives you a little flag saying use of important. Occasionally you have to use it. That's one of those cases. That way you can have different colors for your little backgrounds there and not affect that active button color. Great. Well, we've got a little line here. Let's just actually save this, see how far we've got along. I'm going to save draft. I want to go and preview the changes that we got over here. So far, so good. We've got the active orange color. We've got the hover color. We got the spacing. And if we change tab, that will be the active one there. We've got this little line here. I don't like that little line. So let's inspect it. And it's really not giving us a whole lot here. But if we open this up, our little tab here, could be the before, and it could be the after, or it could be both. Let's have a look here. Got a border bottom solid here. If I take that away, that seems to take it away. So I'm going to copy all these classes here right to the end of the before there. Make sure you get that dot Elementor widget tabs. Control C to copy. We're going to go back to our custom CSS yet again, and we'll go down. Let's expand this a little bit. I'll paste those class names in there. Fantastic. I'll open and close some curly brackets at the bottom. And inside there, I'm going to say border none. That's taken it away there. Let's just check that on the front, because there may be something on the after as well. So again, I'm going to save draft. And we'll go take a look. Yeah, there's actually still something there. So I think that might be on the after. So let's have a look at this. And again, we'll open this up. Let's just click on the after this time. There it is. Yeah, there's still one there on the after also. So again, I'm going to copy all these highlighted classes there without the comma at the end. They're just comma separating the various classes there. Control C to copy. We'll go back. And again, I'm going to drop down. I'm going to paste those down below. Again, we'll open and close some curly brackets. In between, I'm going to put exactly the same thing. In fact, I'm going to copy it up here, border none. Now let's save and see what we've got going on here. That's great. We've lost that little line there. Fantastic. So if we get rid of this now, we should be pretty much good to go. Here's our orange button. We've got our little hover effect. Of course, when we click on it, it's going to go to the other tab. Fantastic. Same with this one. And same with this one. Looks though like we're missing a little bit of border off the bottom of here. And I think that's to do with the before element. So I'm going to go back into my code here. Here's the before right here. I'm going to change it from border none to transparent. And I may need to do it on that one as well. I'm just going to try it on this one. That way the real estate will still be taken up, but you won't see that little border. So let's save this now and see what we've got here. And we'll preview those changes again. Now let's click on here. Yeah, that's kept it nice and rounded at the bottom there. Fantastic. And just to show you, this is going to work on tablet and mobile also. So if I hit my F12 key, bring up my inspector again, this time I'll turn my responsive devices on. Here we have on an iPad Air. Working perfectly. But if we put it on an iPhone, it's going to stack on top of each other. Let's try an iPhone 12. Make it a bit bigger so you can see what's going on. We've got our tabs here. And they've stacked on top of each other. So it's going to work perfectly on all devices for you. So there you go, guys. There is how to use your little tab module, open and close it with buttons. I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. I'll pop that code down below for anybody that wants to copy and paste and modify it to your needs. Don't forget, if you have any questions, pop them down below the video. I'll do my best to answer them for you, or make a little demo video like this one. Once again, this has been Jamie with System22 and WebDesignAndTechTips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.